Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The United States says its anti-missile system in Kabul has intercepted rockets fired towards the airport a day before the US plans to complete its evacuation operation. Smoke was seen rising from above the airport after the US says it intercepted as many as 5 rockets fired early in the morning. The Afghan branch of Islamic State says it was behind the attack. Meanwhile, a ceremony has taken place at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware as the 13 US soldiers killed in the Kabul airport attack were returned in flag-draped coffins. The US city of New Orleans has lost power as Hurricane Ida batters Louisiana. Here, footage shows the roof of a hospital being blown off in Galliano, while video from this home security camera showed water pouring into a beach house in Grand Isle. Power lines were ripped down while trees were tossed around in the 150-mile-an-hour winds. One person was killed when a tree fell on their home in the Baton Rouge area. Ida will test New Orleans flood defences, strengthened after Hurricane Katrina, which killed 1,800 people in 2005. Joe Biden said Ida would be life-threatening, with immense devastation likely beyond the coasts. North Korea appears to have restored its Yongbyon nuclear reactor, that's according to a UN Atomic Agency report. Plutonium, which is used for nuclear weapons, is believed to be produced at the reactor's complex. The International Atomic Energy Agency was expelled by Pyongyang in 2009, but relies on satellite imagery to carry out assessments. The watchdog said the reactor has been discharging cooling water since July, suggesting it is operational. France has started requiring employees in several sectors, including restaurants, department stores, cinemas and museums, to show a health pass or risk suspension. The health pass, already required for members of the public to go to the movies, a restaurant, a gym or a museum, will now be mandatory for 1.8 million workers nationwide. The pass brings proof of vaccination, a negative COVID-19 test or recovery from the disease. New Zealand has reported what it believes to be its first death linked to the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. An independent vaccine safety monitoring board said the woman's death was probably due to myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart muscle. European regulators say myocarditis is a very rare side effect and that the vaccine's benefits massively outweigh the risks. Zambia's new president has replaced the country's top military commanders and the head of the police and signalled a focus on the security forces being more accountable to the citizens. Hakainde Hichilema, who was sworn in just days ago, announced new commanders of the Zambian army, the Air Force and the National Service and their deputies, as well as a new Inspector General of Police. He said the police must carry out proper checks before detaining suspects. Mr. Hichilema, who was voted in as president earlier this month in a landslide victory, has been the victim of police brutality in the past. California's Caldor fire has moved closer to more heavily populated areas in the northern part of the state, leading to more evacuation orders. The fire has been active for 14 days and spread across 1,680,000 hectares. California, which typically has experienced its peak fire season in late summer and fall, is already on pace to see more of its landscape go up in flames this year than last, the worst year on record. Milan's mayor has demanded answers after a fire ripped through a 20-storey residential tower block in the Italian city. The blaze started on Sunday evening on the 15th floor and rapidly spread to the lower levels. Video shows huge plumes of smoke rising from the building. So far, there have been no reports of any serious injuries or deaths. Questions remain about how the fire could spread so quickly. And finally, lots of people dream of the perfect wedding venue. Well, what about this for a view? This couple spent 3 days trekking up Illimani Mountain, Bolivia's second highest peak, to take their marriage vows at over 6,000 meters above sea level. Despite the extreme conditions, the bride was able to wear a wedding dress and a veil. Perfect weather conditions ensured the day was an unforgettable experience for the happy couple. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.